What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Well, the word is Adam Levine has been a very bad boy, and all of his secrets are now being revealed all over social media. Now, Adam Levine, as we all know, is the lead vocalist for the group Maroon 5, and he is married to Bahati Prinsloo. They've been married since 2014, I think, so nearly 10 years, and they have currently two daughters together, and she is expecting their third child, which is a boy. So I'm scrolling through TikTok. This was like a couple of days ago, and I come across this TikTok video of this girl named Sumner Stroh. Well, when I saw her TikTok, I was just like, wow, this is crazy. This woman is literally out here talking about how she had an affair with Adam Levine. I was like, wow, this better be true, or, she's going to be in some deep trouble if it's not true, either by Adam Levine or the public. So I was like, I couldn't believe how someone was so bold to show messages between her and Adam Levine, talking about how they had an affair, talking about how he contacted her recently and said that he wanted to name his son after her, his mistress. He wanted to name his child after his mistress without his wife even know. We're assuming the wife didn't know or doesn't know. And that's why this has become such a story. So the story blew up. She went viral. And then when her story got out there, other women started coming out saying that they've been messaging back and forth with Adam Levine as well. Adam Levine released a statement saying that, yes, I've been a very bad boy. I've been having inappropriate communication with these other people. The whole apology thing, right? He's sorry, he's seeking counseling, etc. And he says that he has never had an affair, that this Sumner Stroh chick is lying about the affair, but they did have inappropriate communication. Okay, Adam missed us with that. We know that it was beyond just DMs and text messages for a year. Okay, so this is what I'm here to say. I am here to say that obviously when two people get married, there should be an expectation of fidelity and monogamy. You have the right to expect that your spouse is not going to cheat on you, commit adultery on you, or whatever. That's expected, and they need to live up to that promise. But I think in the real world, we kind of have to think differently. I think that when you decide to get married to someone, to commit your life to someone, I feel like you need to you should expect, hope for the best, but expect the worst. That's how I think you should enter it. Because when I say it, I mean marriage, long-term relationships, etc. Because when we have these very high expectations from other people that they're never going to wrong us or they're not going to cheat on us or whatever, and then they actually do it, some of us, some people actually break down, and it's like a very difficult thing for them to get through. And that's understandable because you had expectations. Sometimes I wonder if maybe we should not have any expectations, at least for the people who marry people who are of a certain status. If you're going to enter into a marriage with someone who is rich and famous and powerful, I think that you should really lower your expectations, because the world that they live in is completely different from the world that the average person lives in. These people have access to so much. They have access to a whole lot of money. They have access to a whole lot of people. They have access to a whole lot of activities out there that some of us couldn't even dream of, couldn't even begin to imagine. And I think that when you enter that world, I really do think that your expectations of your spouse should be a little bit lowered in order to protect your peace of mind, because you don't want to be, that person that's going to go out there, that's going to be out there crying, stressed out. Every time paparazzi takes a picture of you, you're looking crazy. You're looking like, you haven't slept, you haven't eaten, you're just looking all messed up because you're going through a very traumatic time in your marriage where you just found out that your spouse has been cheating on you, and all the information is out there on the internet and everybody's talking about it. So I think that if you're going to be with someone who is of a certain status, and then you should make that decision. You should just make that decision at the very beginning of your relationship that, hey, I'm with someone who's extremely famous, who's extremely wealthy, and probably has a lot of power. I'm not specifically talking about Adam Levine. I'm just talking about like powerful, rich people in general. I'm with someone who is of a certain status, and I just need to expect that at any moment this person could cheat on me. And you need to make that decision that you're going to protect your sanity and you're going to protect your peace of mind. And you need to make that decision that if that should happen, whatever decision you make, you're going to do it with your peace of mind and your sanity intact. If you choose to leave that person, you're going to walk away with no regrets. You're going to walk away feeling like, okay, I made the right decision. My peace of mind is still with me. My sanity is still with me. My emotions are all in check, and I'm out of here. If you decide to stay with that person, you're going to stay with that person with the same intentions. My peace of mind is intact. My sanity is intact. My emotional well-being is intact. Because we don't want people, especially women, stressing out over the acts that are taken by their spouses. Now, if children are involved, and in this case, like with Adam Levine, children are involved. I think also the most recent scandal was Neo. I think children were involved in there as well. When there's children involved, it's a completely, you have to really look out for your kids. So that's why your sanity and your peace of mind really needs to be intact so you can be there for your children in whatever you decide to do, whatever you and your spouse decide to do. But I don't want people to put all of their happiness, all of their, their worth or their value in a marriage or in a person. Because the probability of you being deceived or you being cheated on or whatever is extremely high. When you walk into it knowing that there's a very high chance that my superstar husband, my superstar athlete husband, superstar musician husband, superstar rapper husband, or whatever is going to most likely, be having inappropriate contacts with people. If you walk into that expecting that and knowing that, I think that maybe when it happens, you can deal with it a whole lot better. I don't understand how people can marry famous, wealthy people and then think that this person is going to cut off all temptation. That's what I have a problem understanding. I think it's one thing if the regular Joe Blow, is going to act a certain way. I think it's completely, I can expect the average person, to live by a certain standard, to live by, you're like, if I expect you to be, faithful and I expect you to be monogamous, you need to deliver that. But I think when people have a lot of money and a lot of access to a lot of stuff, when so much is like being dangled in front of them, like there's so much temptation everywhere where people act differently around them because this person is rich and famous and wealthy and you're married to that. I just feel like you need to just go into it with like a completely different mindset than if you're going to marry a regular person. That's what I think. If you want to marry somebody famous, somebody extremely wealthy, you're going to have to enter that completely with a different mindset than if you're going to marry the average person, the average teacher, the average doctor, the average store clerk, the average lawyer, whatever. You're just going to have to enter it with a completely different mindset. Adam Levine to me seems like someone who, I know of him and I know his music. I know two of his songs. I don't know his music. I know like two of his songs. I'm familiar with Maroon 5 and all of that. I think many, many years ago, he had a hit called This Love. I think that's what it was called. So I'm very familiar with Adam Levine. And to me, he looks like your typical rock star kind of guy, no different from any other famous, wealthy musician. And I just hope that his wife, Bahati Prinsloo, I hope that she like had prepared herself for this day. And now, she's pregnant and everything. And I know that it's going to hit completely differently when you're pregnant, but I hope that she had mentally prepared herself for this day, because I can't imagine being married to someone that wealthy, but then you're expecting them to act like, you're married to the average person who doesn't have access to as much. I just don't, I'm hoping that, they go into the, and I think a lot of women who are married to very rich and wealthy men, I think they just turn a blind eye because they know this comes with the territory, and they don't want to give up their man, or they don't want to give up their lifestyle. And so they just kind of have to like turn a blind eye and just be like, it's not happening. Well, as long as you don't, parade it in front of me, as long as you keep it discreet, you do what you got to do. And it's sad that that's how it is, but constantly having expectations from people, I think you're going to constantly be disappointed and let down. And this girl that came out, this Sumner Stroh, the one that started all of this, like started all of this as far as like exposing Adam Levine. People said that she did it because he was still with his wife, and his wife was having a third baby, and she didn't like that. I don't know if she expected Adam to leave his wife to be with her. I have no idea, but that she was mad, and that's why she talked about it. She said that she came out with the story because she had told one of her friends about it, and her friend had threatened to sell the story to the tabloids. Sumner also says that when she met Adam, she was really young. She was like 19 years old, very naive, and she felt like she was being exploited. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, you knew that he was married. You knew that he was married, and that should have been enough for you to like walk away. Did you not have a moral compass when you were 19 years old? I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying that if she's feeling some type of way about being with Adam Levine, she has to take a little bit of accountability, just a tiny, tiny bit. The fault lays wholly in part with Adam Levine, completely with him, because he was the one that was married, blah, blah, blah. But don't come to us, Sumner, with this whole story of I was young, I was naive, I was manipulated, I didn't know. Please spare us. Just spare us. Okay, just be honest and say, hey, he was attractive, he was rich, he was famous, he was treating me like a princess, I got whatever I wanted, I was attracted to him, he was attracted to me, and it was what it was. Okay, stop with the whole I was young and naive. So I'm not saying that rich people should get away with being unfaithful. I'm not saying that at all. We would want anybody, regardless of how much money they had, when they enter into a marriage, to be faithful and to be monogamous. That's what we would expect. But I feel like a lot of people who are married to these types of people are constantly disappointed, like with the whole situation with Neo and his, I don't know if that's his ex-wife already or soon to be ex-wife. I don't know, with her going on social media and, talking about all their issues. And I'm like, girl, you knew what it was. You knew what it was. And if you don't want to deal with someone who most likely is going to end up cheating on you and not take their vows seriously, then don't marry someone on that level. Go marry the manager of a Walmart or something. Don't marry someone on that level. And also, I think with these Hollywood people, I think everything is just based on physical attraction. They're with one another because, he thinks she's hot, she thinks he's hot, or they're with each other for money, or it's very superficial reasons, I think, for a lot of these Hollywood marriages, especially once one of the people in the partnership has already reached that status. Now, if y'all both started off poor, that's one thing. But if you've already made it, you already made your millions and everybody knows who you are, then you choose a partner, then I think that the person that you chose needs to be very much aware. But I think that a lot of these Hollywood relationships are founded on very superficial reasons, and that's why a lot of them don't last long. And I think a lot of them want to get married because they just want to have a beautiful wedding for photos. I think they just want to get married so that they can take a whole bunch of pretty pictures, put on pretty clothes, just have this really big party, invite a whole bunch of other pretty people to come. That's all it is to me. I can't take these Hollywood marriages seriously, especially the ones who got married after they became rich and famous. Yeah, that's all I had to say about Adam Levine. Can't nobody be surprised. And I hope that, above all, Bahati, his wife, I pray to God that she wasn't surprised Maybe she should just be mad at him because he was so messy about it. You know, you can't be DMing and messaging people because that's going to be used as evidence against you. That is my little spiel on Adam Levine. Thank you so much for joining me on your way out. Please don't forget to rate the video. And if you like this content, please subscribe and I'll talk to you later.